Hey guys, welcome to That's a Wrap, What's Next? It's been a sec, but today we've got the amazing Dan Cugola, director, writer, producer, and he also referred to himself as everything.
Yes.
So he is kind of just the center of all our universes, I think.
Yeah. I think that is an accurate way to put it.
Yeah, when someone's like, describe Dan,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I
He's
start.
the glue. He holds the industry together.
Yeah. Dan also has a film out at the moment. We're just going to go straight into a plug of Barren, released to the public. Anything you want to say about that? But we'll dive in deep into it later.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a horror short film. It's about 11 minutes long. Hopefully your attention spans can handle that. And it's available to watch on YouTube right now. So if you just type my name into Google, Daniel Cugola, you will find the short film. So I'll just give you a little pitch, a little log line. So it's about a woman who is trying to have a child and she's not being very successful at conceiving. She has this husband that he's abusive towards her. He doesn't really want the child. And then one day this strange creature possesses him, and this complicates things for our main character, Lainey. So you'll have to watch the film to see what happens.
I've seen it, guys, and it was great.
Did you find it scary?
If I'm being honest, I only remember one clear shot of it, and it's when you first see the
Yeah, because you don't really... Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but you don't... It's more of a Jaws situation where it's the suspense of not actually seeing the creature so much.
But that part, I remember it so strongly because that was really like...
Yeah,
well,
that was like the
this?
moment, the jump scare.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Low-key, that's the image that's really stuck, and I need you to remind me of more, because I think I have it all buried in my brain.
Yeah, because it's more of a slow burn suspense.
Yeah.
I
remember liking that a lot. Like, it felt a bit unique.
But that is interesting because, so there are people who are, I found this out recently. So I put it in the film festival circuit, and so this is the reality of sometimes putting your film into the festival circuit. It's not always going to go the way that you think it's going to go. So I think I entered around 12 festivals because I sort of just went onto Film Freeway, which is the website where they just list all the different festivals and they're categorized by, genre, or you can even look at like what's Oscar qualifying and stuff like that.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
So I just sort of went through and picked festivals that I thought would be good. So I entered around 12, and the other things, they cost money, so you don't want to just enter 100. Yeah. So I didn't want to spend more than about $1,000 on the process, and each one costs around $80, on average around $80. So I entered about 12. And out of those 12, I only got into one festival.
Oh, wow.
But that is also because I entered ones that were a little bit higher up. Because you can enter festivals that are easier to get into, but then it's also like, how much credibility is there if you're getting into a festival that everyone's getting into?
Yes.
Like if you go there and you network, it's just going to be other people that aren't at a level. So I was like, not shooting for the highest ones, like, Cannes or Sundance or whatever, because you have to be self-aware enough to know where your film sits. But I was like, I'll go for some, kind of high. I mean, I entered Sydney Film Festival, which is pretty prestigious, and a few other ones. But yeah, I only ended up getting into one festival, and then I was like,
Which festival was it?
Damn, I actually can't remember the name of it right now.
Great.
So what happened was I kind of was just like, well, I'm keen to get it online, and I just wanted to put it out there. Because I had my premiere, and that was really nice.
Fun.
But
that was really cool.
Yeah, it was good. Hey, just getting everyone together for an event. But I was like, I just want to put it out into the world, so I put it online, and then it's only got just under 500 views now, which... that's
so hit and miss. Like,
you just don't know how the cookie's going to crumble. But I also know, looking at it, why it probably didn't perform as well as it could have. And this links back to it being a slow burn, because it's like the first 50 seconds is just establishing shots.
Yeah.
A shot of her standing there looking at the pregnancy test. Like, it's very slow burn, which I feel like when you're in the cinema watching it, it sort of...
I don't remember it feeling slow.
That's what I mean, right?
Like, yes, slow burn, but not, oh my gosh, hurry up.
Yeah, it's probably less boring if you're watching it in a cinema, right? Whereas if someone's looking at it on YouTube and they're just looking for quick, easy content, they might click away.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but when if I'm going to put my YouTube time into watching a short film, I'm in a really intense thinking
That's
mood.
what I mean, right?
Like, that's not my chill, easy view.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even I would be the same. So I understand why it hasn't performed as, crazy as it could have. But I think that's an important lesson in terms of know what you're making, know who it's for, and know what platform you're going to be releasing it for. And I mean, I made that film wanting it to be a festival film.
Yeah.
So I wasn't so much concerned with that stuff initially.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can't tick every box with one project. Like,
yeah, exactly.
that'd be great.
Exactly. But what I was going to say before is there are people who are analysts, like festival analysts. So you can send your film to them and they look at it and they go, oh, okay, here's a strategy. Here's what festivals you should enter, blah, blah, blah. Like you pay them a fee and then you tell them what budget you want to spend and all that. So I found someone who I've got a call with, I think, next week. So we're going to talk over the film and they're going to tell me where they think it could
That's
go.
Cool.
So yeah, that'll be interesting because I've never done that before. So I'm curious to see what comes of it.
Yeah, I love being analysed.
Yeah, totally.
So fun. I think that's some people's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Let's start off strong with what right this second today, sitting in this chair, how are you feeling about the industry and your place in it?
I guess things are a little volatile right now, or just all over the place in terms of the film industry itself, like cinema, right? Everything's changing so quickly because you've got your AI, right?
Yeah.
There's such an oversaturation of content as well.
Yeah.
Like there's, you've got your streaming services and there's so many of them. You've got all this online content and that ranges from, you've got like TikTok, which is very DIY. Like it's just skits of people in their bedroom doing stuff and that's like quick, easy entertainment. But then you have things on YouTube which are really premium content.
Yes,
like it's almost like a movie itself.
This is free?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, is this YouTube premium right now?
Yeah.
So you've got that and then now cinemas are trying to charge, $30 a ticket to go and see a film. And you can see, and you also have to, it's less convenient. Like you can't watch it from the comfort of your home. And people, you have to designate, you have to have a few hours free in a day to go to the cinema, watch a movie, come home, whatever. And yeah, I think it's harder for people to justify that now when there's just so much content. So obviously, and that for me is sad to see because I've loved cinema for so long and I love the cinema experience. But even for me, it's when life gets busy, it's hard to justify, trying to find the time to go to the cinema.
When you were a kid or like even just a couple years ago, did you find yourself going a lot more?
Yeah, especially when I was a teenager, I think I went the most because tickets were cheap then and I just had time on my hands to just go and see movies.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I definitely do enjoy the times when I do get to go now. But I also feel like it's harder for me to watch a film now that blows me away. Maybe because I've seen more films. I did go and see One Battle After Another recently, and I thought that was really great. Yeah, it felt like an instant classic. It felt very timeless. That's cool. Yeah, so that was cool to see.
Yeah, I just watched Us the other day.
Oh yeah, how'd you find it? You liked it? It's very, it's an eerie film, isn't it?
I can't even think about it genuinely. Like, and when it gets dark, if I'm driving home in the dark and I'm on that last road before I get to my house, I'm like low-key convulsed. I'm like, don't think about it. Just don't think about it. You'll be fine. It's scary.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah. And because Mel and I are writing our short film and it's horror and it's about doppelgangers. Yeah. Why we watched it.
How's that going? How's progress on that?
Good. Yeah. We're getting there. Hoping to film in February.
Oh, wow.
Got to start getting the money in
Wait,
order.
Is that a feature or what is it?
Short film.
Okay.
It's sitting at around like 15 minutes right now. So I think, I don't know how I feel about that. We have to really just look at what our actual goals are with it.
It's a good length. What do you want to do, like a festival run or?
I think we do. This feels like a big step up from anything else we've made. Just in terms of like we're working with new people and trying to really give it like a good budget and everything. Yeah.
So you got your crew locked in and all that?
Not locked, but we've had the director and the DOP sending us their wish lists of who they want to work with and stuff.
That's always good when you can bring on a head of department and they have their people.
Yeah, it makes it easy. It all feels so different. Like, this one feels really cool. Different. Like all these exciting little things like that happen. I'm like, oh wow, you just
does it feel more legit?
It feels so legit. Yeah. It's really cool.
That's great.
So yeah, it's going. It's like we're just about to do a table read because it was paused for so long while I was away. But yeah, I think after the table read we'll feel the realness a bit more.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I circle back to what I was just saying before? So I think kind of like that's the landscape right now with all this different content. But I think what's going to happen, like people are talking about the negatives a lot, like AI and stuff. Yes. But I think there's also going to be an opportunity for new filmmakers and creativity in a different sense to rise up. Because it's going to be more accessible for people to create films on a smaller budget. And you actually see a lot of this stuff. Like I see some reels on Instagram and stuff, just such creativity with what people do with no money. Yeah. And it's actually really inspiring and to think like there's going to be a bunch of filmmakers or content creators that wouldn't have had the opportunity before. Also, the whole like distributing your content is easier than ever. And I do think it's a like, sure, there's the algorithm and stuff, but I think the cream rises to the top in the sense that like if you make something good and you're honing your craft constantly and you just keep putting it out there, and you know, throwing stuff at the wall, eventually something's going to stick.
Yeah.
I think it's quite an exciting time, like a volatile and scary time because things are changing. But I think there is definitely a silver line to that change.
I've been feeling that too. I think it's hard to feel positive because it's all changing. There's no clear vision of where it's going.
Yeah.
I mean, to social media, I think it's definitely going, but there'll be other avenues as well. But yeah, I'm feeling that too, but I'm still feeling more of I think you literally caught me at the exact time of I'm transitioning from, oh my gosh, this sucks and the world is ending to like, okay, we can find a way to.
Yeah. And I think you and I kind of were on a similar page about that.
On your episode of the podcast.
Yeah, because we were scared at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I think I probably transitioned to being okay with it a little earlier than you. Yeah. Because you're just at that point now, but I probably hit this point maybe 2 months ago because I actually started using AI like ChatGPT and stuff in a way that's, I know.
Scary times.
I was working at a marketing agency for a bit and they used it to help write scripts. And there are ways that you can use AI to assist you rather than to do everything. Yeah. And it is interesting to see because I feel like people think, oh, the whole film industry is just going to end up being AI content. But I think people are going to get tired of that. Yeah. You know, I think people are going to start looking for more organic content and creators that they trust because people love to have an experience that they feel touches them from a human place. Like, you know, when people go to a concert and it's like they're willing to pay $200 to see their favorite artist. And it's because they love that artist and they love supporting that artist and they love the experience of going there and feeling that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like there's always something people are bringing to it. I'm not a Swiftie, but I know the bracelets is like a huge bonding experience.
Exactly. And there's the community aspect as well, right? Yeah. People love to not just love creators, but love those creators with other people.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important aspect of it.
Yeah. It would be so nice for cinema to resurge though,
actually,
having a theatre full of people. What?
Yeah. You know what I was going to say to you? Yeah. I feel like this could be an opportunity for theatre to come back because theatre is... You can't really replace. It's that organic experience, right? That people there's no AI. You can't.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I mean? It's the energy of the people in the room, and
that's a great thought.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see a resurgence.
Always stuck through all the changes. It struggles a lot, but it's always stayed.
Another thing I was thinking of as well is there's always been through different points of history a certain art form that is the most lucrative. If that makes sense. So. For example, when people started doing paintings, that would have been the thing that was the art form that was making the most money, right?
Yes.
And then Shakespeare came out with, you know,
some bangers.
Doing his theatre, and that would have been the form of entertainment that everyone wanted to see, everyone was paying for.
Yeah.
And then your painting's probably not as lucrative. And then it became film, and then theatre sort of dropped off a little bit. But people still pay for theatre, but you have to make an event of it, right? It has to be a big thing. And that's what film has become now.
Yeah,
because people
you're right.
to drag someone out to the cinema, you have to
so right.
make something like Dune, you know, something that's a spectacle that really makes people want to go, oh, I'm willing to, when there's all this other content out there, I want to pay $30 to go out of my way to go to the cinema and watch this, you know what I mean? So maybe film will fall back and something else will come forward, or we'll have a resurgence of other art, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, I do really feel like we're sitting in the premium content, Instagram reel, YouTube reel kind of era. Because I don't know, you know how they even do the content awards and stuff, which they've done for ages, but like for the first time it kind of just appeared on my feed and I was like, oh, it's so like real. And these people I watched, they're called Granny Flat Comedy and these two Aussie, I think they're actors. They are because they act in their skits, but they just are constantly doing comedy and having different actors starring in a skit. And it just always looks so professional. They add the dramatic music and it's just so well done and really funny and well scripted. And I think they won a creator award of some kind. I'm like, it's like fully occurring now.
Yeah, and I think we're really taking that premium content for granted as well. Because again, it's just so easy to find such good quality content now. Whereas like, you know, before it would be like, you see one really good movie once every 3 months or something, and that's the only content you get. I mean, there was TV and stuff, but now it's like you open Instagram and you see the most cinematic reel, and then you can just swipe to another one that's like just as good. And it's like so much there. And then
I think that's why it's important with that stuff to be interacting with it as well, to like respect the people that took so long to make it.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to just scroll past and take it for granted. But I feel like it's such a nice impact on people if you actually just like it or comment.
I completely agree.
Yeah. And you can definitely differentiate the stuff that doesn't deserve your time versus the stuff that you should be like, yeah, this is great work. Good job, people. Like,
what are your thoughts on that reposting feature?
I've used it a couple times.
What do you repost?
I don't know. I reposted something today and I don't even remember what it was. I don't hate it because other people's reposts come up and I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool to watch. Thanks, guys.
Oh, does it come up on your feed?
Yeah. Okay. It comes up and there's like a little icon under it with who reposted it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought it was just on your grid, like on your profile, because you can see what people have reposted.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Wait, what did you think I meant?
I thought, you're talking about it coming up on the main feed, right? Like when you're scrolling through
when you're
Instagram.
scrolling.
Yeah. I thought it just goes straight to your profile.
Oh,
you know how?
Does it?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe both. Probably both. I would say both.
I was going to check, but my phone is in use.
I think it's probably both. I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. It just I just feel like all the apps are trying to copy each other though. Like that's what TikTok has.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
But that's always been a thing though. Like remember when stories came out on Instagram?
Yeah.
The Snapchat had it first.
Or filters came on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
I just feel like at some point they're all going to merge into one.
That's what I was thinking of. But I mean, it's the whole like streaming service thing as well.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they're just competing
so
even though they
annoying.
don't really need to. It is, but it's different businesses trying to compete for the top.
It is. And I've been so loving Parks and Rec. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that yet.
Mockumentary. I love mockumentaries, and
that is your thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been watching more episodes of Parks and Rec again. I've seen the whole thing before.
Yeah.
And I was even watching blooper reels, and like Amy Poehler has a podcast and she's been recently interviewing a bunch of people from the show. And that's the kind of community I feel like I want to keep having. Like just the look of how like they're all in the comedy aspect of the TV industry.
Yep.
And so they all know each other in this little circle of like funny actors and whatever.
Yes.
And like they worked on the show for so long. But like that's the thing I'm kind of scared is gonna disappear a little bit if we are going towards social media. I mean, again, humans always naturally want to be part of groups. So I feel like it won't entirely disappear.
I mean, why couldn't that exist within the social media space? Like don't influencers and stuff hang out all the time?
Collab.
Isn't that a thing? Yeah, collab.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if you watched.
Just something I'm scared of missing out on, but I guess we can actively try to have it.
Were you ever into David Dobrik?
I watched Liza Koshy.
Yeah.
And then
because the whole point of David's videos is that he collabs with all these other famous people. Like that's sort of the whole basis, and then makes it into these like 4-minute or now 6-minute videos that it's just like action packed with like all the exciting stuff. And like it's hard, like you watch it and you can't not smile. Like it's just so fun to watch.
Well, that was like the I forgot what they were called, the Sister Squad, when James Charles was not cancelled.
Oh yeah.
And that was cool. There was like a group of them. Yeah. That was a fun era of life.
I know.
So I guess with your new positive kind of hopes now for the changes that we're having, are you starting to think of how you're going to approach things differently? Do you have new goals?
Yeah. And as I said, I'm always adapting to, with each project I do, I'm like, how can I do it a little bit better than the last? Like I'm always trying to at least do something I haven't done before, challenge myself in a new way. Yeah. But I also really enjoy the marketing and the business side of filmmaking. Or thinking, just thinking about what can I do to get my films out there and how can I get it seen by people? Yeah. And I think that's something I've really been thinking about a lot recently. But it's a balance because you want to make stuff that's creative and organic to you and what you like to make, but you also want to cater to an audience at the same time. Yeah,
I feel like we're always on the same wavelength or something because that's what I've literally, again, this morning thinking about. Like I also love the business marketing like thoughts, and I get really I really zone into that sometimes. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, low-key, it's kind of just killed my idea. Yeah.
But I also think that you can be creative within limitations, right? It's like if someone said to you, okay, you have to make a film, but you have to do it in one location with one actor. Yeah. It has to be 5 minutes long, right? Yeah. You might hear that and be like, oh, that's so limiting. But then you might think of so many different ideas that you can do within that.
Yeah.
You know? So I think the goal is to use the limitations you have and also use the resources that you have available to you, right? Let's just say, for example, your mum owns a cafe and you're like, okay, that's a location. Like, say you have no money, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, what do I have access to? You're like, okay, I've got a phone. I've got a cafe because my mum will let me use it for free.
That's
I've
nice
got,
of her.
Yeah. I've got maybe these 2 friends that said they're willing to.
You've got 2?
Yeah.
Wow.
More than most.
Yeah.
That are willing to act in it, and say that's all you've got. But then
Yeah.
it's like, all right, now I'm going to make a film set in a cafe with these 2 actors, and I'm going to film it on my phone. And then you make it work. Yeah.
No, it's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah. We did, when I was at acting school, orientation days for both years when new people came in we had a impossible film challenge thing. And there was like a list of stuff you had to tick off in your tiny iPhone short film that you had to make, and you had like a couple hours to do it with a random group that you were put with.
Yeah,
it's like that. And
we did
it was
stuff
always
like
fun.
that too. Yeah, film school. Yeah. It is fun. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so where are you envisioning yourself now, like your movements?
Totally. Well, it's always been a goal of mine to make a feature film. So I really want to strengthen my writing.
Okay.
That's something that like I feel like I kind of suck at dialogue. I mean, I think I'm slowly getting
everyone
better
feels
at
that.
it. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Actually, you're not bad at dialogue. That script you
Really?
sent me with all the different characters was pretty.
Oh my
I
gosh, I
enjoyed
almost
that.
forgot about that. Thank you. I should get you to read Mel and I's one. Actually.
Yeah, I'd love to
I'd
read
love
that.
your thoughts.
100%.
Yeah, so you want to improve dialogue.
Yeah. So
I remember you were saying this about writing when I was on your
yes.
episode. Guys, also check that out. Pre-prod pod. It's Dan's podcast.
Yes.
I was there. Check out all the episodes.
Yeah. So it was just the 2 of us at the time, but I have 2 other co-hosts on that one, Josh Urquhart and Austin Scott. So
Yeah.
But yeah. So writing, yeah. So wait, so did you have a question? Sorry.
No, I was just saying that you mentioned it last time. So have you been starting to learn more about it?
Yeah. Like just I'm reading more books on writing, but the thing about it, you would find this with acting as well, is that sometimes you have to take people's advice with a grain of salt because someone will say, oh, here's how you do something. And then someone else will give a completely contradicting piece of advice.
Yes.
And then I feel that you have to just find the way that works for you, which can be somewhere in the middle. So yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm soaking in all the information I can about writing, but also trying to find my own processes.
Pick which ones you like. And
Yeah. And actually, here's an example of using AI in a way that I don't think is too destructive.
Sure.
But, so I'm writing this feature and I had written out just loosely all the different scenes that happen in the film, which my writing process is still quite messy right now because I'm still just trying to figure out how I want to do it. And I spend a long time just thinking, like flipping it over, writing little bits and pieces. Some people can just shoot out a script in like 2 weeks. It's insane. I mad respect to anyone that can do it. But for me, like I have to flip ideas over in my head, think of how everything links thematically and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So after like a few months, I'd gotten to a point where I loosely had written out all the scenes, but it was kind of hard in that format because it was about 6 pages worth to be like, oh, I can see where the flaws are in this story overall, structure-wise. So I threw everything into ChatGPT and I said, hey, can you summarize this in 1 page for me?
Yeah.
And it did that. And then when it was way more concise, I could actually see where the flaws were, like where some of the more illogical parts of the story were. Like, oh, that doesn't really make sense that would happen. And I could adjust that in a smaller scale. And then once I do that, go back to the larger scale, the more detailed version of it.
Yeah.
So I just like will flip back and forth between that. And like, I feel like my writing process is pretty unorthodox. It's always kind of just been all over the place. And like, I used to have a bad problem with some of my previous films, which wasn't a problem with Barren because I didn't write the script, but I would just constantly be changing the script. Even like on the day, I'd be like, all right, you know how we had all this dialogue that you guys rehearsed? Let's improv it. And the actors would be like, what?
I feel like that's pretty normal though.
Yeah, but
I mean,
like the issue is that like I was just making things different. I wasn't making them better.
Right.
And I was changing things thinking, oh, this will make the story stronger. But then it kind of, you have to be very careful about what you change sometimes because even things like, this is why script supervisors are so important. Like people who look over the script, make sure all the lines are being said and stuff. Because, for example, if you evict one line of dialogue, you might think, oh, it's fine. But then that line of dialogue might link to something that happens 30 minutes later in the film. And when you don't have that line, that beat doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
And so there are so many different variables that can change the outcome of the film. And if you're just changing things without really paying attention to what you're changing and why you're changing it, you can really mess up something. So you have to be very careful. And that's why they say you got to respect the script. And like, sure, there's a time and place for improv, but I think...
Love improv.
Yeah, but you just got to know why you're doing it, how you're doing it, where you're doing it. You know what I mean? You have to be very intentional about it, I think.
Yeah. So. Have you heard, I think I'd love to do a project one day where it's all an improvised script. Have you heard of Coherence, that film?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like a low budget thriller, I guess.
Yeah.
And look, I don't know the exact history of it, but basically I think the director had also written it, but had picked kind of points that had to be hit throughout and where it's going to end. And, you know, this character is going to betray this person and whatever. But they didn't have any dialogue for it. So they filmed it all in a house over a couple of days. And they were like, cool, this is a dinner party. Like, these are your relationships, la, la, la. You have to do this by the end of the scene and off you go. And then they'd just be shooting like these improvised scenes, and it's like a cast of 6 or 7 actors. And it was incredible. We watched it in writing studies, actually.
Yeah.
And it was unreal. It was so cool and so creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
it's so fun.
Some people can just pull it off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You could easily have failed that as much as you could have succeeded that. Like,
totally.
So unpredictable.
And you know what? There's probably a lot of cases where people tried to do that and failed, and you just don't hear about those ones. But again, that's being very intentional about what you're shooting. Like that director would have known from the get-go, like, I want to make something. And he would have known that he had the skill or like the actors that could pull that stuff off.
Yeah.
Because you can't just throw anyone into a room and they're able to do that. Like, you have to have the right people, the right director and all that stuff. But there's always welcome surprises, but I like to prepare as much as I can.
Yeah. As you should. I feel like that helps so much.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it is to prepare as much as you can and then be willing to be open to surprises on the day when you're shooting.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Yeah.
Are you planning on writing a feature now, or?
Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And then I also want to diversify a bit and because I've done a music video before, but I want to do more of those and then get into the commercial world a bit too, because there's a competition going right now for spec savers. Yeah. So I
did one last week.
Oh,
for
really?
My friend, yeah.
Oh, you acted in it?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It was fun. It was good. It was like this little reunion of a cast from the Vertical series I filmed last year. We were all just there doing it at like a pub.
Yeah, nice.
It was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be directing 2 of those.
Two?
One of them is my script, and then one is, you remember Lachlan Miller from Barista, the DOP? So he wrote another one, and he was like, oh, I would love it if you directed this. And I was like, it was a little bit more logistically tricky, so I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, but he convinced me because he was like, he basically broke it down in a way that made it sound more simple. Yeah. And he knew that he had access to certain resources, which is, again, working with what you have access to. And then I was like, all right, let's do it.
That's so fun.
Yeah, so I have to cast for that one, actually.
Cool, if you need anyone.
I need to find a car wash as well. Do you know?
Car wash?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I have to start looking into that soon.
Like one that you go through?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's going to be the trickiest part of it, I think.
I want to know your script so bad now.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Actually, no, I'm not going to pitch it publicly right now.
No, don't publicly. Because
I'll tell you about it off the air. Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I get exclusive knowledge.
Yeah. So what my point was is that I'm trying to diversify at the moment. So I want to have a portfolio of stuff that's not just short films, because if your portfolio is just self-funded short films, I feel like that doesn't show much range or credibility.
Yeah.
So I really want to try and push to be like, hey, I can do all sorts of different things. And it's kind of hard though, because I'm in the middle of like, do I find my niche or do I just do a bit of everything? You know,
I know how I feel about a niche. I really just don't know how I feel.
Yeah, actually, in terms of the job market, I think this is actually a really good time. Going back to the AI stuff, a really good time to be multi-skilled or to just, because for most of my career I've just hopped around from different jobs for various reasons, and I always thought, I always looked at the negative side of it. I was like, I haven't held a job for 5 years. Like, it doesn't show that I'm stable or credibility or whatever. But I think now what you're seeing with AI is that it's taking people's jobs who have been specialists for 20 years in one thing. And if you've specialized in just one thing for 20 years and then suddenly you become redundant, where are you going to go? You have no transferable skills. Whereas for someone like me who's, job hopped quite a bit, I am able to, if I, am no longer at one place, I have enough transferable skills to pick up a job somewhere else. Because I was at this marketing agency for a couple months.
Yeah.
No longer with them, but then literally actually just today I got a new job.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Where are you working?
So I'm working for a publishing company that does B2B content. So essentially they create, so like magazines and websites and just other content for different industries.
Yeah.
So like construction people and stuff like that. So I'd actually be hopping on a plane quite a bit to go to different states because some of these construction sites and whatnot are in different states.
So you're filming content or?
Yeah. So I'd be taking photos of, just the construction vehicles and sites and testimonies with people, like tradies and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I get to fly around to, Perth or Queensland and whatever. So that'll be really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. So I start in November. But my point was that with the skills that I've built up over having lots of different jobs, and my resume looks quite stacked now because I can put all these different things in. I even put the podcast in just to show like, hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like after the marketing agency, I probably applied for 4 or 5 jobs, and then within a month I had a new one.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and that was quite lucky as well, but also
you've got the skills to do it.
Yeah. So,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I think, and I don't know if that's the same for you. Like, if you've have you job hopped a bit? What's your situation?
Well, I've always just casually worked as a usher / box office person at theatres. Yeah. And I think because Riverside's closing for renovations in February, so I think after that, I think I might be done at theatres. Not that I hate them; it's just like I like to change it up.
Yeah, and that's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of because I think a lot of people get scared, especially when they've been doing one thing for so long. Like, there's nothing else for me out there, but there's always going to be more work.
Some other little passion or something. Yeah. My thing is though, I've always been in a privileged way, very picky of what casual job I want to have. Like I've done fast food for 6 weeks and, cried every day. And then I've done like children's birthdays and been terrified and incredibly anxious. And I just theater's beautiful. I know theater, I recognize people here and everyone's here as an actor or something. Like it's just so beautiful and peaceful. And it's like, I'm going to be sad when it shuts because it's also so close to where I live. Like it's kind of the perfect job. And I worked so hard and waited so long for them to say yes. They kept delaying the interview process for whatever reason. Right. And I was like, I'm not going to other jobs. Like I will wait until this happens because I don't want to work elsewhere. Yeah. So I'm just so picky and I know I can't always be, but I also I'm trying to find where I can step up to, and I'm willing to learn new skills or
that's a good attitude.
Jump into a deep end.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I want that deep end to be.
But there's nothing wrong with just trying stuff. And if something's not for you, you always have the freedom to leave.
It's true.
I mean, like obviously you have to consider when you lock yourself into a job, like, okay, I have to give this a proper crack. Yeah. Like don't just start a job and be like, oh, I'm going to leave the first week because why not? Yeah. Like actually give it a shot. Yeah. But like also know that you'll be okay if it's not for you and you don't have to just stay there forever,
It's true.
So,
yeah. So I'm just tossing up. My dad and I, how we have our production company, we're trying to also lean towards more commercially things with it as well because that's where the money is.
Yeah. For now though.
For now.
Like when you say commercial, do you mean like TV commercials or what do you mean specifically?
So for example, we're just trying to build our portfolio and my chiropractor is like, oh, I need a video for my website. Yeah. So we're like, okay, we can do that for you for a low price and we will use your content on our website, like that kind of thing. And then just finding other small businesses like that and building up, I guess.
I think also, I keep linking back to AI, but it is a relevant thing right now.
Get out! Yeah.
But AI is basically animation, right? Because
Chat GPT, I'm animating right now. What do you mean?
No, AI videos, right? Because just it takes existing videos and it just puts them together in a replication of what looks real, right? But
to cut you off, I'm so sorry, but I saw a video of a kangaroo get jump scared by like this Halloween thing at the front of someone's house and I was like, this is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Some of them are pretty funny.
And then I started looking through the comments and someone was like, kangaroos can't jump backwards, this is AI. And I was like, fuck me.
Oh, you thought it was real?
Every time I thought it was real.
You didn't see the little Sora logo pop up? Oh, okay. You know what Sora is?
Is it a company? Like an AI company?
It's that new software, that new Sora 2, they're on now.
Yeah.
Second variation of it. Because all the different companies are releasing their own versions. Like Google has VO. I can't remember who Sora was by. I don't know if that's the ChatGPT version. But all these different companies are competing to make the best version of AI. And sometimes you'll see watermarks pop up.
Oh, okay.
So you know there's an AI video.
Well, that would be nice.
But what I was saying before is that I feel like there's always going to be a place for documentary filmmaking or news and that kind of stuff, because that's real people with current events and circumstances that you can't animate.
Yeah.
Quote, animate.
Yeah.
Or replicate with, a fake computer. You've got to actually go there with a camera and record that.
Very true.
And there is, there's money in that, There's always going to be money in news or documentaries or whatever. So, yeah.
Do you find that because I assume, and I could be wrong, but are you aiming and praying to be a constantly working director that is at least semi-well known in the industry and, not Hollywood, but like that vibe? Is that what your big dream is?
Yeah, but I've sort of shifted my perspective on that a little bit over time, because I think when I was younger, it was just like, oh, I want to be a big Hollywood director and that's my living and that's it.
Yeah.
It was very black and white. Like, I love this so much. I want to do it forever. I think actually a turning point recently was when Sean Baker won the Oscar for Anora, which is a $6 million film. It won Best Picture. So obviously this guy is at the top of his game. You could say he's in probably top 1% of filmmakers, maybe even probably higher than that.
Yeah.
And then he said during his speech, I don't have a family right now. He has a wife, but he doesn't have kids. And he said, I don't have kids, but if I had kids, I would not be able to support them.
Wow.
And that to me was like, so this guy is at the top of his game. He's one of the greatest filmmakers working right now, and he wouldn't even be able to financially support kids. And then I was like, I'm getting older now. I'm 26, so old.
Ancient.
And and I'm like thinking about my future, and I'm like, do I really want to be living on the edge of unemployment or financial ruin all the time? You know what I mean? So, and I think as you get older, you just prioritize different things in your life. You prioritize that financial stability a little bit more, which is why I've been going for full-time jobs recently. And that doesn't mean that I don't love filmmaking. I still love it, and I still want to continue to do it for as long as I can. But it's just like you have to look at it from a more realistic standpoint and be like, maybe this isn't the thing that I can do all day, every day. And that's fine. And, hopefully as my portfolio diversifies and improves, I will get to a point where I'm directing more and more, and that becomes more of my thing. But it's also like giving yourself a backup plan, because it is a lottery ticket at the end of the day. To you can hone your skills as much as you want, but it's still such a competitive industry. It requires a lot of luck.
And even if you're doing all the right things.
You might just still never make it. And
or it's like you'll make it in 20 years time from now. Like you just don't know.
Exactly. And it's like, am I going to put my whole life and my future on a lottery ticket? And some people do that. And that's, mad respect for you. And when I was younger, that was okay. But, as you get older, you're like, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe there are other things that are important, having a family and that kind of stuff. So, that's where I'm at now. But you're still young. So, what perspective do you have right now?
Again, I feel like every opinion in the world, I'm just on the fence of these days.
Yeah.
So, same with this. I'm like, okay, time to get ready to change jobs again. Do I want to go to part-time now? Can I imagine myself doing any particular jobs? I really loved traveling, and I want to do more travel. Like next year I'd love to do a working holiday somewhere at the end of the year maybe. And I'm very aware of the lottery ticket thing, kind of increasingly every day actually.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I think I'm kind of trying to go down the route of what things can I control industry wise, and that's like my dad and I's production company, like that kind of thing, or making my own content. I think I need to go more down that route. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. We have access to these tools now that you can actually use to your advantage in order to boost yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's really important to learn the marketing and business side, because if you really study social media and you go, how can I make content that people are going to be drawn to? All of a sudden, if you make one reel and that goes viral, that's 1 million people that have seen your face and know what you can do, right?
Yeah. I've got a friend who's helping us with our short film.
Yep.
His name's Ethan. And he started something called the Creative Bite, which is like filming, I think it's primarily for musical theatre, so filming shots of musical theatre and putting it on those people's pages and stuff, the companies that are putting on the show. I could be butchering this, Ethan, I'm so sorry. But he only started it, I think, 6 or 7 months ago, and it's already viral, and he's now getting people asking, can you come on? And he's having to be like, you have to pay me because these other people want me. Like, it's already happened.
Yeah.
And it's just because of like the tenacity, like, because you have to be invited to those press days and stuff, and he wasn't getting, he'd email like, oh, can I come? I'm starting this thing and la la la. People would be like, no, thank you. We don't need you to film us, like whatever. One day he just went into a theatre on a press day and did it anyway and made the content, and it went viral.
Oh, wow.
And from there, but it was like he had to like force himself into that space. So it's so much still about like, you can be doing all the right things, but sometimes you just have to go extreme.
You have to just push that little bit further, but like, also think about what could leverage you. You know what I mean? It's like work smart and hard.
Yeah, just work constantly. Capitalism.
No, don't just do things willy nilly, because you're gonna burn out if you're not doing things with a target or a goal, or you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's like if I
you need something in your heart that feels at least semi soul.
Yeah, because like for example with short films, right? Like if I was to just be like, oh, I'm gonna keep making short films, but I'm never gonna think about who wants to see this. I'm just gonna make things that I want to see. It's like, okay, sure, but enjoy having that sit on a hard drive for the rest of your life, every single film, and you're putting your own money into that too. Like it's not sustainable. So that's why I think it's really important to think of the larger demographic. Yeah.
Oh, into the directing side of things. Yeah. Most of our listeners, I think, are actors on this podcast. So how do you feel about your relationship with actors?
I hate actors.
No. Wish they were all AI. Yeah.
What's her name? Tilly Norwood?
Oh, God. Just stop. And you keep sending me the reels.
That one where that chick throws the mannequin, that was so good. So what was it? How do I feel about actors?
How do you feel about your relationship with actors?
Yeah, obviously, like,
when you're working with them, obviously.
Yeah, like I love actors, because you can't make a film without actors, and they're all super interesting people in very different ways. But yeah, I love talking to actors about craft, because a lot of you are just a lot of you are really self-aware. Like you know, and also you think deeply about psychology and how people think and why they do the things they do, because you have to implement that into your character, right? Like you have to understand people at a deep level in order to be able to portray someone, right? And then it's also so fascinating seeing, like, because you can tell when someone's... Actually, I want to kind of get your perspective on this, because it's like how much of acting is quote-unquote pretending, and then how much is... quote unquote authentic. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's just kind of a blend, and then it's also like because I think some of the great actors are actually, they're able to pretend, but they're so good at acting that they can make it seem like it's real, if that makes sense. For example,
like their pretending goes so far that it kind of becomes real.
Well,
is that what you mean?
No, I mean they're just so good at the craft of acting that they're able to pretend. Like, for example, the actors that do the fake crying, right? Like they can just conjure tears like that, right?
I just don't get that. Yeah.
It's like you have that skill to do that and make it look like you're upset, and someone watching that is going to be like, oh, that person's upset, and they're going to feel the emotion, the sad emotion of the scene. Yeah. But that actor's not even sad. I mean, unless they're channeling something within themselves, but a lot of them are able to just do it because they can control their tear ducts, right? Yeah. Yeah. Which is crazy.
And then it all comes down to the editing and what music's under it too. And
exactly right. And then there's the whole thing of like, you're on a film set, you know, you're like it is pretend. Like you're not, if you're doing a scene where you're out in a battlefield, you're not actually on a battlefield, and you shouldn't
actually. Was it what's that really good one?
That good
battle
movie?
One.
1917.
No, that's good too, but it's like more recent than that. And it was
All Quiet on the Western Front.
That was,
I haven't actually
they
seen
fully like created a full battlefield.
Yeah.
Obviously fake, like it's not a real battle.
Yeah, and of course,
it was so cool.
Great directors know that you have to create as much immersion for the actors as possible to get the most authentic performance. But then I was talking to my other acting friend about this, and she was saying that, like, as an actor, you shouldn't treat it as if it's completely... Like, say you're in that battle situation, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't want to go completely into that to the point where it becomes a reality, because that would be dangerous.
Literally,
like
you're
imagine
shooting
you thought,
people.
you thought you're actually on battlefield and you just start like hitting the other actors.
Yeah, no, we had
so it's not supposed to be real, but you simulate it.
Yeah, we had a teacher that said like when you're being your character, it's supposed to be your 99% character, and there's the 1% of you. Maybe it wasn't that exact statistic, but like
Something
the
around
small
that,
percent of you that's
Just
aware
you.
of what's happening and keeping everything safe. Like that's
Yeah.
part of your responsibility too. Yeah, and I've always been able to analyze that note that he gave, but I don't think I've ever fully experienced that.
Well, it's like
feeling.
how do you get lost? How do you get lost in the performance so fully, but also maintain, like, have a self-awareness that you're still you and you're not meant to actually, like, you know,
I don't know.
hit the actors or whatever it may be. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? How do
yeah.
you do that? Because that seems
It's-
incredibly challenging.
See, I think I'm going to speak on behalf of all actors because I don't know how else
You
to
have the
answer this.
authority to do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But I feel like it's more crazy that you're even asking the question, not as in you're an insane person, but as in like, I feel like that's just so, like, I've never even thought about that before.
Right.
Like I've thought you're always thinking like this is pretend how much, I guess there's the crazy people that go method and it works for them. And maybe those people are like questioning where the line is, but I guess it kind of just is both.
Yeah. So
And
like when
I think when you're more like emotionally connected to a text or the person you're acting with, then it kind of the percentage changes and you're more feeling like it's real and less feeling like it's fake. But then there's times where it feels so fake, and there's just the tiny part of you that's like, oh, I feel a tiny bit of joy or depression about this moment. Like it really just I think varies project to project.
Yeah. I think I kind of know the answer to my question though.
Sure,
because like doing those doing that acting workshop with you, I kind of felt it where like we would, you know how we partnered up and then and then the guy I was with, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he was really good, right? And he was giving me a lot to work with. And then because it was that aggressive scene where we were having an argument, and I felt like I was being attacked. And I was like, whoa.
I think that's what it is.
What I mean?
The human brain can't differentiate real and fake. I think that's where like what the question is, because that's why we can empathize with a film and feel sad. It's just that when you're acting, you're also feeling sad knowing that you're the center of it, not watching it. Yeah. I guess. So I don't know. You're the center. That's such an actor thing to say.
No, it makes sense.
The brain doesn't know. So it's kind of just a matter of the circumstances and how self-aware you're feeling that day.
Yeah. Because I guess it's kind of like if you're getting screamed at, your body and your mind is just going to have an organic reaction to that.
Yeah. My challenge personally is, because I did more classes with MAW and I noticed how often I'm in a scene that might be serious or something, but I'm kind of smiling. And the smiling is my self-aware self, like enjoying it because I love it so much. Right. But sometimes that part of me is coming out and it's like...
But I feel like you can train yourself out of that.
Yeah, you can.
Because that's just becoming aware of... This is also... I feel like this goes into a life thing as well, right? Like in terms of, say you have bad habits, being self-aware and drawing yourself to those bad habits, and then that's how you're able to try and work them out.
Yeah, well, actually, that's a big part of what happened at acting school.
Yeah.
We had to do self-tape classes and everyone would do their tape and then we'd be in a room watching everyone's tape and the teacher would be giving notes. And almost everyone in our group had at some point across the year been given a note of, oh, you blink too much when you do it, or like you use your eyebrows too much, or you keep looking away. Like, and that was habits people had to break. Yeah. I got slightly annoyed because I was never told what mine was, or if I had one. I'm sure I do. So I still don't know what it is. But
you were just that good.
Yeah, no.
Well, maybe the smiling thing that you just...
Well, I think that's what it is, but it's, taken another 2 or 3 years to work that out. Like,
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when I kept gesticulating? Like I kept pointing and she was like, sit on your hands.
yes. Yeah, it's always so fun seeing what people's things are and then you always notice it when you talk to them and stuff.
I feel like the eye contact one would be a big thing for people because... You have to give a lot more eye contact when you're performing, right?
Yeah.
Like naturally people look away from each other a lot, especially if you're confronting someone or, doing heavy scenes. I don't think people are used to looking at each other.
Yeah, and then that's where the fine line comes in of how realistic are you wanting it to be? Like how natural, I guess, the naturalism type of stuff. Like right now I'm staring into the distance while I speak to you, but you don't really bring that into... Oh, you do. You do.
It's interesting how you can subvert that though. Have you seen Normal People?
No.
So there's a scene where Paul Mescal confronts this guy. So this guy's abusive to his sister, and he hits her, and then Paul Mescal goes to his house and he's like, oh, if you touch her again, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
But like he grabs him and he's like right up in his face, but he's not looking him in the eyes. He's like, he's just staring next to him. And he's like, if you touch her again, I'll kill you. Like,
yeah, that's real.
Like,
yeah.
It feels authentic because it's like, he's like, it just, you feel the character being like, oh, I don't want to look at you right now because I'm just channeled into this anger and I'm trying not to fucking look at you because I just like don't want to sock
so
you.
Clever.
Like, you feel it, and it's just that like,
and that would have been
brilliant
such a
from Paul,
choice. Yeah.
Director. Yeah, 100%. And it just works.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's such a good flip of, and that makes a scene that could have been, cliche. It flips it and makes it feel real and authentic and different.
That's where the whole artistry it's very cool. Yeah. No, I still feel, honestly, again, was thinking this morning. I guess I was pondering a lot this morning.
Yeah.
But I still feel very, and I mean, you're always evolving as an actor. That's the thing. It's so similar to life. Like if you're growing in life, you're growing as an actor. And I feel like I'm still so early stages of acting ability, if that makes sense, which just feels crazy to say because I've been doing it since I was 12 years old.
I feel like that as a director.
But I guess we'll probably always feel that way.
I think it's partly because we look at the scope of successful people and how much they've done.
Yeah.
And then we compare ourselves.
Yeah. Well, yes, but it's not even in terms of like career. It's more just in terms of
the actual craft.
Like, okay, we're filming a scene. How are you going to approach it? There's just so many tools out there. And I feel like I'm still honing in what tools work for me. And
totally. And I feel like I have so much to learn about acting myself in terms of like from a director's perspective. Because just often you'll have a situation where you're just like, there's an issue here. Like the scene isn't working and I can't even pinpoint why. So you just have to try a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
And like the abstract nature of it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
That's something difficult with writing and directing actors versus something like cinematography, right? Where you can be like, oh, I'm looking at this shot, it's underexposed. Let's pop a light in there. Okay, it's good. You know what I mean? It's very black and white. Whereas actors, it's like, oh, there's a problem here. I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
So let's just try a bunch of stuff until something works.
Yeah.
You know?
And then that's hard on a time limit and everything
exactly
else.
Right. All
That's
the other
challenge,
pressures.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why casting is so important too.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about casting and what are your thoughts when you're behind the table basically?
Yeah. In terms of
unless
what
you're doing
specifically?
self-tapes. Say you're about to cast your Specsavers ad.
Yeah.
I guess it's a bit different because it's commercial energy, but I assume you're going to do it by self-tape. So maybe we'll talk about self-tapes. But
I've actually already casted for it and it was someone I knew, but cool. I think I know what you're going to ask and I think it might be better to ask about narrative.
Okay,
just because commercials are very much like, oh, you cast this person because they look
good for the part.
And it's like they have two lines. It's a lot more simple than narrative where it's like, oh, you actually have to find someone that suits the character, has the right vibe, has chemistry with the other actors. Like there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, you know what I'm going to ask of like,
what do I look for
if it's
in
a complete
actor?
stranger you haven't met and they've come in, what are you wanting to see from them?
Totally. It's really funny because actually I was talking to Demi about this and I was like, I would almost compare it to online dating because sometimes you have someone. So for example, because I would use Star Now and Showcast a lot, right? And you have the profiles of people, you have their headshots, and you just have basic information about them, their height and stuff like that. And you'll see someone and you'll be like, oh, that person looks how I'm envisioning for the character. Great, let's audition them.
Yeah.
And then they might rock up. They might rock up and then you'll be like, oh, the vibe isn't there.
Yeah. So
hey, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
They just don't really envision that character or the aura that you really had in mind for that character. And then you might have someone else who you look at the photo and you're like, oh, it's not really what I'm looking for, but I'll audition them anyway just to see.
Yeah.
And then they come in and they give you this amazing performance. Like this happened with my film Nightlight, which was my first project that I did at film school.
Yeah.
And it was right towards the end. I had this actor come in, Matt English, and he was just like, I think he wasn't completely what I envisioned for the role, but I was like, yeah, like let's bring him in, let's audition him. And then he came in and it was good because it was a chemistry test. I had already casted the lead actress, and then so he was bouncing off her. And then he just delivered this incredible performance, and I was in tears by the end of it, and I was like, well, I can't not cast this guy now, you know what I mean? So sometimes people just come in and they surprise you and they blow you away, and it's like, and I'm someone who's very, if I meet someone like that, especially on a budget where you can't audition a million people and get like these A-list actors and stuff, you kind of have to work with what you have access to. So it's like, if I'm lucky enough to meet an actor who really is compelling in that way, and I'm making a budget film, then I'm happy to rewrite the script to suit them, which I've done many times. But there are times when you can't make it work. Like, for example, with Barren, my friend Noah, she submitted amazing tape. Again, I was in tears watching it, just so good.
It's awesome,
and I really tried to make it work within the story, but she was just too young for that role. Because, you know, the story's about a woman who's trying to conceive, and for it to have that impact, she needs to be a little bit older.
Like she's been at it for a long time.
Exactly. Like she's kind of like, you know, the running out of time sort of thing. That's a important element in the story. And I think if you cast someone who's younger, it just doesn't have that same effect.
That's kind of the suspension of disbelief.
Exactly right. And it's you see in student films a lot when people cast like a 20-year-old who's meant to be like 35, and you're like, I'm not buying that. Or, you know, you have the Hollywood opposite where they cast like a 30-year-old as a teenager, and you're like, why are your biceps so big, you know?
Literally every time.
So I'd say, and also to add on to that, like obviously it's the skill and the look are obviously important, but also just how they are as a person. Like, do we get along? Are you willing to take feedback? Are you a good collaborator? Because I'm going to be working with you on this project. You need to be able to collaborate with me in a way. We need to get along, you know? Otherwise, it's just not going to work. Like, you don't want to be on set with someone who's just a pain in the ass.
100%. And it's always hard to tell if you've just met someone, if they're going to be a pain in the ass. As well.
I think you can kind of see someone's vibe, though, early on. Obviously, sometimes problems arise later that you didn't predict initially.
But then I guess that's humans as well.
Exactly right. You can't always foresee things, but you do your best to try and avoid issues.
On the topic of actors, what do you find is your biggest challenge with, I don't know, communicating ideas with them, or just in general your biggest challenge with that collaboration?
It's a good question. I think you got to make sure that there isn't ego involved. I think everyone has to have the best interest of the film at heart when making stuff. Especially like if you're younger, power dynamics can really come into play. Like if you have an older actor and they can sense that you might not really know what you're doing so much, they might try and override you a little bit and be like, you know, like start to make all the creative decisions. But I think it's fine as long as, again, you've casted someone who seems like a nice person and you just know what you want enough. Like you have some sort of vision, right? And you're able to convey that vision to your actor. And again, it's fine to not know things sometimes. It's okay to be like, look, I don't know what I want here. And ask for people's opinions. Be like, hey, I don't know what would be best here. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Because I always have a sit down with my actors, if I can, before filming. And just talk to them about the script. Talk to them about their lives. Get to know them. What do you connect to with these characters? What are some of the experiences that you've been through personally that you can draw from? And then also, this is kind of tricky, but like, because you don't want to force your own opinions onto them. You don't want to be like, hey, this is what the character is. You should think of it like this, because they might be less connected to that version of the character. Like they might be less connected to your interpretation than their own interpretation. But at the same time, you are directing it, so you have to kind of steer the ship and explain to them the intention. So I think it is very much just that back and forth of, hey, what do you connect to? Hey, here's how I see this. Can we find a middle point where we both kind of understand what this is? And I mean, how do you find that from an actor's perspective? Like with directors, when you're looking at a script, do you feel like they ever try and tell you too much about what the story's supposed to be, or?
I think so, because the majority of my experience in film has been student work. And I think there's a lot of that. I think when students are starting out, it's like you haven't learnt really about how important the collaboration is. I mean, some people obviously know it straight off the bat, but I think a lot of people are like, it's about the idea and you stick to it. And, you know, I've been like micromanaged a lot of times, and that you don't even really feel like you can enjoy it as much in those situations.
Especially when people are new to directing. I think they're just like, oh, this is my movie. You do what I say.
Yeah.
Here are the lines.
And no one's ever mean about it, but it's just kind of what they think is how it's supposed to be, I think.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of that. I'm trying to think. I think the best experiences I've had are in theatre. And yeah, directors, I've worked with some really nice, amazing ones, and they're always very open-minded. And I think with theatre, again, it's mostly been at school. And so the director's been trying to find a script that works for our class, and then we find one and they've only read it once or twice, and then we're table reading it. So we're all kind of discovering it for the first time. So the director's kind of fully ready for your interpretation.
Yep.
You know, my favorite thing ever is cold reads. I love cold reading scripts. I don't know why, but I always feel way more connected to scripts that I've just read.
Like you've never read it before and then you read it for the first time.
Yeah, I actually think that's some weird hidden skill that I have for some reason, and it's like semi-useful, semi-not. Like,
do you do that on your own or with other?
With others. Like I remember we table read a script we were going to do for our graduation play, and we didn't even end up doing it, but just table reading the one we were reading. And I was like, yeah, I love this character that I'm reading, and I feel like I understand everything, and like it's just great. But then for me, it's actually tends to be worse when I have to have memorized the lines. Oh. I actually, like, this is something I need to work out. I low-key feel like my acting is better when I'm reading it for the first time.
Do you feel like it's more spontaneous?
Yeah, but I'm just more connected to it somehow, even though I don't know it. That is an interesting
skill, actually.
It's weird. Like, I don't know how to benefit from it currently, but it's like something I just love it. And same with improvising. I feel so much more.
You are good at improving, actually.
Oh, thanks. I just, that barista.
Yeah,
I was
so
like,
funny.
when have you seen it? Yeah. I still want to see. I forgot what I said. Like,
I can probably find the bloopers for you.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I feel more connected when I improvise than when I have dialogue. Like, I get there eventually. I just find that it takes a lot more time and work. And I think maybe it's something to do with maybe I'm always learning scripts, but just not enough to feel confident enough with it. I think I might be like, oh, what if I get a line wrong after this? Like, it's that fear thing. Right. So maybe I have to continue to memorize them a lot longer and harder than I currently am. I don't know. Because, well, actually, when I did a Little Women scene with Demi the other day, that was scripted. It was short, though, so it was easy to memorize, which maybe is why it helped. But that actually felt very connected to.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know if I'm growing out of it, or if maybe I just had memorized it, so I wasn't worried.
Do you think there's a specific reason you were more connected to that than you usually?
I also love Little Women, and I love all the people we were doing it with.
Yeah.
So I think that came into it a lot.
So maybe it's just, it could even be a luck thing, or just like a case of just happening to find characters that you connect.
Possibly,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Comedy I find easy to connect with.
Yeah.
Because I just like being funny, like doing funny things.
Yeah.
And my struggle though in comedy is that I'm laughing at the other actor because they're so funny. I have to like not be laughing. I noticed that I filmed the Overtime Hours, which was a student one, and it was like the best student one I'd done. Yeah. And some people noticed it when they watched it, some people didn't, but like there's multiple scenes where like there's just the slightest smile on my face in like a dead serious, seemingly serious situation where I've been kidnapped. It's like, why are you smiling?
Why are you happy?
So that's, I think my smile is a huge thing I have to.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah.
That's good to at least know, like be able to pinpoint something that you can work on.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have that with your directing?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So like my writing is one thing that I really want to work on. And that's one of the reasons why because Barren wasn't my script. That was written by Anya Valentin. And she sent it to me and I was like, I love this. Can I make it? But the reason I was looking at other scripts is because I felt like my writing wasn't that strong.
Yeah.
But then I've been working on my writing since then because I wouldn't say it's an ego thing, but I like having the creative control of the story. And I feel like when you write it, when it comes from your mind, you have the deepest understanding of it. Yeah. Which actually, this was interesting because with the Barren script, so when me and the actors were looking over it and reading it and talking about it, it's like we were all interpreting the script because it wasn't my script. It didn't come from my brain, right? Whereas when it's my script and the actors read it and they're asking it, it's like it's from my brain, so I can just come up with the answers. Yeah. Like, oh, this is what I think happened and this is why. Yeah. But then I think the downside of that is that the thing I mentioned before, which is that I would just keep changing things all the time.
Yeah,
Whereas
your own.
With Barren, I was like, I read this script and I loved it. I know this is a strong script. So that kept me grounded from changing things all the time. Because there were a couple of moments where I was like, oh, what if I change that to that? And I was like, no, pull yourself back in line. Because that's, I'm always constantly trying to improve things. But sometimes you have to reel yourself back in and be like, you're just making it different. You're not making it better.
Yeah. I feel like that is something you'll learn over time. Like trusting what's set in stone and
100%.
Yeah. Is just writing and writing, I feel like you said also acting you're trying to understand more of.
Yeah, because as I mentioned before, I feel like it's quite an abstract thing in terms of the problem solving aspect of it. So I just want to I'd like to do some more classes. It's just finding the time for it.
Yeah.
Especially because
they're the money, they're expensive.
Yeah. The new job should help with that.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, just trying to figure that all out. So
yeah, that's one thing you can't do online is an acting class, really. Oh, on Zoom maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. But it's interesting. I'm always showing people my films and being like, I don't know if you find this with your acting.
Yeah.
Do you find like you can't tell when people are just being nice for the sake of being nice or whether it's something more? Like at my premiere, people came up and like, oh, the film was great. And I'm like, it's hard for me to like believe like, oh, you actually think. Because it's also like, on what level do you mean that, right?
Yeah, great is a very broad term.
It's like, are you saying this film is good in the level of like, oh, that's cute. Like, it's a nice little film that you've made. How nice. You know? Or is it like, this is so good, I would pay money to see this. You know what I mean? And then maybe I think different people saying good is means a different thing to them.
Yeah. I think the difference is like, if someone comes up to you and says, I would pay to see this, then you know that's, and if someone's like, yeah, it was nice, I feel like that's just a nicety thing. Like, not that they would have hated it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would say that, I guess, unless you were actively asking for feedback. But yeah, I guess the bigger question is how much that matters, like whose opinions actually are important to you. Because
that is true.
You only need a small circle of opinions that you really need.
Yeah.
And that are actually beneficial. And everything else is just kind of for the ego unnecessarily, I guess.
Is true. Yeah.
Like, no, I get it though. Like, I have the same thing after I perform and people are like, yeah, that was so good. And you're like, so it's just like, if they go like, oh, I loved this, this and this, you're like, oh, okay. So you genuinely really enjoyed it. But if it's like, yeah, you were great. That was really cool. You're like, okay. But also I think some people just have different levels of like how much they criticize or like give opinions.
Also just like a different perspective of art. Right?
Yeah.
Like one person might see it and genuinely mean it and think that your performance was great. Someone else might say that and be like, yeah. You know what I mean? And it could be the same for my film. Like, and it's also taste. Like
yeah, exactly.
Might watch my film and be like, this just isn't up my alley.
Not for me.
This sucks. And then someone else might be like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah, and it's some random guy you just met. They're like, this is my favorite thing.
Do you think you would be like, how do you think you would react if somebody just completely
shat on my work?
Yeah, or like told you like in super intense detail all your flaws with your performance.
That I didn't ask for it. Like they just come up to me and give unsolicited advice.
Whether you ask for it or not, like if someone just sat you down and like, I can pinpoint every single thing that was like that you.
I'm a very sensitive person.
Right, yeah.
I think if they're gonna give constructive feedback, maybe the sandwich method, like give me a positive, a negative, and a positive, or like tell me like I think I just need positive affirmation throughout this feedback. Like I think my brain's kind of a bit silly in that sense. Like if you sprinkle some nice things here and there, I'll be okay with the bad stuff you give me. But also it's to the point for me where like someone will just be giving me direction in a play more than screen, I think. But I'll just be getting direction. Like they're not saying what I'm doing is bad, but I'm going, oh, it mustn't be good enough if they're trying to make me change it. Like, but that's like just how you mature, I think, is realizing like they're just collaborating and literally doing their job. Like it's not, I think that's a huge problem, especially when you're starting out.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting past that now a lot better.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't know.
I was just going to say, I feel like the way to actually really pinpoint where your flaws are or things that you can work on is to ask multiple people who are that you know are going to be fully honest with you.
Yeah.
Because
scary though, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the feedback can be subjective, right? So if you ask one person, it's like, oh, it might just be their opinion. But if you ask 3 people and they all say similar things, you're like, oh, okay, like that is it becomes more objective. Like that is something I need to work on.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I've done with all my films as well. Like there's similar things that I need to improve in all of them. And I think it comes back to the story most of the time and the writing.
Yeah.
Like people have always said about my films, like, oh, it looks great. The cinematography is good. Like the tone, like I'm put in that world. I feel like I'm there.
Yeah. Yeah. You're very good at that.
Thank you. I think that is one of my strengths, I'm also in terms of the shots I pick and all that stuff, I'm very precise. Like the way I think about it is very, like I know exactly how I want it to look and feel and stuff. But I think my weakness is just bringing the authenticity to the dialogue and the performances and stuff. So that's what I want to work on.
Yeah, which is interesting because you're a very authentic human being, and you're very good at the deep psychological conversations and things.
Yeah, it's hard though when you sit down to write something on paper and it's meant to be multiple people talking in a way that feels real.
Yeah,
it's very hard. You have to have such a deep understanding of social commentary.
Yeah.
And it's not just making dialogue that's authentic. It's having it link back to the film in a meaningful, intentional way. Like everything has to link back to the theme.
Every word that's said has to somehow be...
It has to have a rhythm.
Reason.
There is so much to dialogue and writing that is so much trickier than people give it credit for.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's something I'm trying to work on. And I'm actually writing a short film now that I feel like is probably the best thing I've ever written.
Oh, that's exciting. What genre?
In terms of, it's kind of like, it's dark comedy,
Love
this sort of psychological thriller. It was actually an idea that I wrote a draft or a couple drafts for it, like maybe a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago or something. And I shelved it for a while. Yeah. And then I came back to it and I was like, this still hits, or at least the first half of it, but the second half needed work, which is what I've been working on. And I feel like I've figured out a way for the story to go that feels interesting and impactful and stuff. And I back when I first wrote it, I gave the script to Indy. Yeah. And then I was talking to Indy about how I've picked it up again, and Indy was like, I'm still thinking about that story.
Oh,
like that's still the one that I wanted you to make out of like everything you've pitched to me. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, and then I had other friends say the same, like, oh, I've been thinking about that since you sent it to me. I'm like, okay,
wait, I want to know now.
I've got a winner. I'll tell you about it off the pod.
Yeah.
Because it's a weird idea. Okay. It's like, I wouldn't say it's like this, but have you seen Swiss Army Men? You know, the one with Daniel Radcliffe where he plays a dead guy?
No.
Oh, it's just like, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? Yes. So those directors, like, they just do films that are weird, right?
Love it.
But you watch it and there's just so much heart in the story that you wouldn't expect to be there. It's kind of like that in the sense that, like, it's like that, but in the opposite way, in terms of, like, it's a weird story. Yeah. I mean, I guess I can pitch it.
No, you can tell me after, whenever.
Okay.
Or I can cut it out.
Yeah. It's a weird premise, like when I tell you, I'm like, the heck. But then you watch it and, like, the motifs in it and it's a character study as well. Okay. It's about brotherhood as well. Yeah. About two brothers. And it's also, it jumps back and forth in time, and just the structure I've figured out and, like, what it says at its core and the philosophical debate in the story, I feel is quite strong. Nice. So I'm really excited about it, and keen to get that one going. Yeah. So that's kind of, that one's going to be a little bit more art house. I don't think that's not at the forefront of, like, this is my film that's going to make so much money. Like, it's that, and then my feature film is a little bit more, I want that to be a bit more accessible. Yeah. To, like, a mainstream audience. Yeah, which unfortunately is very important. Like, 100%. Yeah. That's why like this one that I just told you about, the short film, that's like, okay, this will be a festival film. Yeah. And then the feature is like, okay, this will be more of a mainstream audience. This can convince people to fund it and to get money. And exactly right. Have so statistics that prove this will, and so the moral there, I guess, is that it's okay to make different kinds of projects. Just know what the intention is with each project and where it fits in the landscape of what you're making. Very good takeaway, actually. Yeah. Guys, did you hear that? Write that down. So it sounds like you're growing and learning a lot and always plan to, but currently what would you be saying to your beginning of film school self as advice? That's a very good question. It can be multiple things. Say a bunch. Just give all your tips and tricks. Yeah. Wow, that's a great question. I haven't really I have thought about speaking to my past self, but not specifically about film tips. I think it's okay to figure out your own process. Like, you don't have to just, because I feel like in film school they kind of put you in a box of, like, this is how you need to do things. Yeah. And I think I was too scared to break outside of that at the time. Yeah. And I think as I've gotten older and done more projects, I think I've realized, like, you got to find your own way. But I also think you need to learn the fundamentals in order to break them, you know? 100%. So I don't blame film school for being like that. Yeah. It's just the way it is, but I think maybe they could encourage people more to be like, hey, it's okay to find your own way once you've sort of mastered, well, not mastered, but just gotten enough of a grip on how things should be done. Yeah. Oh, man, it's so hard because I feel like a lot of it just comes with the general wisdom of getting older and just your perception of life and the world. Mm-hmm. it's like,
Yeah, like it could be something you tell your past self, but your past self isn't ready to hear it, kind of thing.
yeah, exactly right. And it's like, it's also like that previous version of me wasn't ready to do the things that I've done now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the point I'm at in my life now is meant for me at this age, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't have wanted 18-year-old me to act the way that 26-year-old me acts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, for example, the stuff I talked about, like wanting to prioritize financial stability and stuff, that just wasn't my priority at 18. And if I told myself that, I wouldn't have
done it.
Yeah. And like, I also wouldn't have wanted myself to do that, because that was the time to take risks.
Yeah.
You know, when you didn't have to worry so much about that stuff. And if I could do it again, I would have done it the same way, I think.
Nice.
So
that's a good feeling to have, I think.
yeah. Do you have anything that you'd tell your younger self?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that.
Yeah,
either.
it's kind
like
of
start of
ridiculous.
acting school. Yeah, again, I think everything that happened that way.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should have been.
Yeah.
Maybe just that, like everything I'm learning is a tool, and I can just take and leave whatever I want. And they said that to us at the time, but I feel like I needed to hear that a couple more times for it to stick.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be perfectly good at all the things you're being given. Just find the ones that you really like and keep those. Because I think I ended up kind of finishing with like a bunch of stuff written down, but a lot of kind of still genericness about, oh, I guess maybe I'll just do this for my character for this short film, or like. And now I'm kind of at this weird blobby point where I don't really have much, like any specific method at all. And I think that's actually hindering my progress. So I think
it's
just
also
need to
okay
find
to
what I
go through
like.
phases. You know what I mean? Like have a phase where you're a little bit more just figuring things out, floating a bit, and then go through another phase where you're more focused on a particular thing. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me. This is a really good chat.
It's been a long time coming as well to
Yeah.
be on each other's, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out Dan's film, Barren, and the Pre-Prod Pod.
Yep.
That's such a tongue twister.
Yep. Also follow me on Instagram, Dan the Director _.
Linked below, guys. It's there. Click it. Yeah. And he's really friendly, so if you want to like say hi.
I am nice.
I don't know his address, but I can get it for you, and you can.
Have you been to my house?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I have.
Okay. I have to make that happen.
So yeah. Yeah, so thanks guys.
Cool.
I think I don't remember how I usually end these.
Wait. What do the audience have to look forward to in terms of your pod? Do you have anything interesting coming up? Anything you want to plug?
No.
Oh.
I was in my life.
Yourself, yeah.
Everything's still very pre-production, guys. So just
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Lots of love, have peace and happiness.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye.